Hey people, so I just wanted to give you a couple more options for creating silhouettes of trees and plants for your landscapes. Just like down here are some super simple ones, just like a circle with a triangle or multiple circles with multiple triangles just arranged in the shape of a tree. And like what I did right here, I just used subtract to cut away little bits of the tree. But right now I'm going to show you a little bit more complicated ones with like the pen tool and some other options that you have for creating trees. So I'm just going to switch here to a blank canvas and use the pen tool to click and drag to make curves. And then when I want to get to the end of my tree branch, I'm just going to click to make a point and then click and drag to make curves that go back and finish it out. So that's one tree branch. I'm just going to make another one. Just make it a little curvy, click and drag, and then when I want it to point, you just click and then go back, click and drag to make a curve. Should be a little bit thicker at the bottom, and then close it off. And then I'm just going to use the selection tool and select both of them and make them black. There we go. Move them over a little bit, and you can reposition them and move them around, make them bigger, smaller, and duplicate them. So don't spend a lot of time making each one, just duplicate them. So I just made two. I'm going to copy, paste, and then use flip to flip it and then move it around. And now I have four, and I can copy all four, copy, paste, paste it right on top, and just make some of them thinner and taller. And then you can go and, manipulate each one. If you want to make like this one just come out like really far, and maybe this one kind of shorter, and rotate this one. So my point is, you don't need to go and make individual, like every single tree branch individual. You can just make like two and then copy paste them and then just kind of reposition them and change them around a little bit. So that's my one tree. And once you're done with it, you select everything and then hit compound shape, create compound shape. Now you have a creepy tree without leaves. So you can do that with the pen tool like I just showed you, or you can also use a freehand tool if this is easier for you. Just draw out a tree branch, a couple tree branches, and fill in black. And kind of reposition them. You can even make these into like little pieces of grass. There, that's fine. And you can just duplicate them. Maybe switch some of them around. You can go the other way, and there, that's grass. Okay, so those are two different ways of kind of creating more organic shapes, the pen tool and the freehand. And now I'm going to show you how to create like some foliage and leaves for your trees. Easy way to do it is just with circles. Just pull out a circle, maybe color them black because you're making silhouettes, and hold down Option and pull out a bunch of circles. You can then select them and kind of pull them apart. Once you have like a 5 or so, select them and pull them out again. Just holding down Option and again. And just rearrange them, just angle them, just rotate them a little bit, then back. There you go. That's pretty quick, simple foliage for your trees. Once you have that, just select all of them and then create a compound shape, and you can stick them like right on top of a tree. So another way to do it would be just using a rectangle and maybe rounding the top. So I'm just going to uncheck uniform corners in the appearance panel right next to corners, uncheck uniform corners, and then I can use that subselect tool and round the corners. So I might round them like a little awkward. All right, and after that, we're going to get the shape selected and change it into a path. So convert to path, and this makes everything editable. You already have this subselect tool, so we're just going to add a bunch of anchor points to the bottom and then make like a jagged line out of those anchor points. So I'm just going to click to add anchor points on the bottom of this shape. They come up as little squares. I'm gonna move them around in a minute. I'm just gonna go over this whole edge. There we go. Am I almost there? Almost. So you add a bunch of anchor points. And then the idea would be to go back and select like every other one. So I'm gonna leave that one white. Click on the next one, and then hold down Shift. So I'm selecting multiple anchor points. So I'm holding down Shift on the keyboard, skipping that one, leaving it white. Select that one, leave that one, select, leave that one, select, leave that one, select that one, leave that one, select. Whoops, so, I messed up. So I gotta go back. Gotta be kind of accurate. So select that one, that one, that one, this one, this one, do this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. Okay, so I'm still holding down Shift, and I have all of every other anchor point selected. I'm just going to click and drag up. There we go. I think I missed one right here. And that's it. Now I have a little bit of different kind of foliage for my trees. You can reposition this, resize this, do what you want with it. Hold down Option and duplicate it. And then maybe flip it around, make some of them longer and thinner. And you can move these around and place them on top of your trees in Gravit. That's basically it. There's 100 different ways to make different kinds of trees in Gravit. Wanted to show you this real quick because if you do this with like a lot of lines, each one of these paths has a few anchor points. So if you make something like this, it can slow down your computer a little bit. Maybe I'll just show you if I Command C and then go over here and paste it. It takes a little bit of extra time. So the more lines and paths and anchor points you have, the slower it's going to be for you. And I can imagine that if some of you are using a Chromebook, making a really complicated tree shape or any kind of shape like this might slow down your Chromebook and even crash your Chromebook. So you want to try to, keep them simple, but you can use the freehand tool, the pen tool, even the shapes, if you manipulate the shapes and change the shapes to paths using this tool right over here. So that's basically it. As you can see, if you use a lot of those complicated paths, it's going to slow down your computer. Mine's still trying to paste what I copied from my last. So I wonder how long this is going to take. Probably a good amount of time. Oh, there it is. Got it. So that obviously took a long time to copy and paste. So you don't necessarily want to make something so complicated like this if you are using a Chromebook. Hope that helps.